Hello guys, RPM Designs. I decided to make a video on the what is it again? The x670, the Gigabyte x670 Aorus Elite AX, because there are several people that have issues with it. In the beginning, I had some little issues as well, but yeah, nothing too minor. I have no issues ever since. Yeah, I came from the x470 Asus ROG, and yeah, I don't like it. I doubt I will ever, when I have an ROG board ever again, because of all the BIOS settings, like a million settings. 80% doesn't do anything, nobody knows what it does, or it's just double, like in a sub menu you have the same setting again, which, yeah, I don't know, I don't know, I just don't like it. I really like this board. It has almost no features, as in no crappy RGB and all that crap. I don't need RGB on the motherboard, fuck all that. I mean, that's a personal preference, but I mean, this VRM is just amazing. It's a really good VRM, 16 plus 2 digi VRM. I mean, it's more than capable of running my 7700X CPU Ryzen. So yeah, the PCI Express, yeah, I couldn't really be bothered with that, because nobody's actually gonna maxing out the PCI Express lanes anyway on an M.2 drive, so I don't really get why people need a PCI Express 5 instead of a 3 or 4. I mean, yeah, benchmarks, it's quite nice. It's nice to have higher numbers, but I mean, it doesn't really translate in more performance. So, you know. But anyway, the problem that people have with BIOS, which was the BIOS, BIOS. I bought the board, I think, when it came with the F5 BIOS. I think it was the F5. It was a stable, yeah, with AGISA 1.0.0.1H. Sorry. So yeah, then I flashed to F6C. When I did that, I lost my internet, the LAN port, and I could not figure out. I go like, oh my god, this board is just brand spanking new, and all, you know, it's already broken. So that was a bit of a letdown. That just, yeah. So, okay. Then this BIOS came out. I flashed to this one, and still it didn't work. I go like, what the hell? Is the LAN already dead? I go like, well, that's really very weird. I still had Wi-Fi, but yeah. So I go like, this is not possible. So I flashed all the way to F7, and then I flashed back, and I could not figure out, until I came to the conclusion that actually what I also did on ROG boards, because they're inherently erratic for the most part. My experience with these boards is on Ryzen. Is what I did is to plug, just turn the system off. Or first you can, there are several things actually. First I did was enter the BIOS, switch to the default settings, reboot into BIOS, then check if everything is, you know, correctly. You notice it also when you boot, because it's always saying CPU error because you have no CPU fan in the CPU fan header, which is a bit annoying but understandable. It's a good feature that's there. So, but anyway, I booted. I just turn off the system, then pull the power cord from the PSU without flicking the switch on the PSU itself, keep it in one state, in an on state, then press and hold the power button, and yeah, just hold it for like, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds, whatever, and then yeah, so the capacitors, everything, the registers, everything is clean. You know, put the power cord back in the PSU, boot the system, and reflash the BIOS. That way, everything gets deleted. Everything gets it should, you know, normally it should be like you know, just flash and be over with. But every now and then, sometimes you have this issue. It's not every time, or does it happen at all? But it can happen, and if you do it that way, the chance is high that the issues you have while after a BIOS flash, they're going to be resolved. If that doesn't help, you can also do the same thing, but also remove the BIOS battery. The BIOS battery is underneath the, I think, let me check, I think there is the BIOS. The BIOS battery should be somewhere there, I believe. So it's a bit inconvenient to remove, but yeah, if you have a problem, it's definitely worth it, because there's nothing more annoying than an unstable, erratic, weird system. It can also cause Windows errors and issues. I mean, I know all about issues, so I'm pretty decent on finding issues and, you know. But anyway, that's the thing. This camera is just, I do it on my phone, so it's a bit, the image stabilization is a bit drunk. It seems like you're drunk. But anyway, yeah, that's how I did it. Just power off the system without flicking the switch, because if it's in an on state, it will, you can do it. The system tries to boot, but obviously you can't because there's no power. So if the switch is on a PSU, it opens up all the, it's you know, it's an open circuit, so to speak. And if you close it, everything is closed. So it's a better idea to just keep it on. Just, yeah, now pull the BIOS battery, you know, hold the power button for 5-10 seconds, whatever, 30 seconds, a minute, whatever you want. I normally just wait 5 or 10 minutes, 10 seconds, 5 or 10 seconds, just to be sure. I mean, what is 10 seconds? So, you know, I then put everything together again, boot up, reflash the BIOS, and that should fix a lot of things. And it actually fixed my LAN port issue. So apparently there was something in the BIOS. I don't know what. I don't really, you know, there's no way of knowing. Just reflashed it that way, and everything got solved. I saw some people also have problems with PBO. People have problems with boosting, everything. I haven't tinkered a lot with this board, but I don't have any issues, to be honest. So I mean, if you're looking for issues, you always find some, but I leave everything on stock because there's no reason to overclock system memory. It doesn't gain you anything. I can go maybe to 6400, I don't know, and I don't know. It's just I don't really. If there is a gain, like I get more performance, then I would likely to try. But 6000 is the sweet spot, because you know, for the internal clock thing or whatever you want to call it, the I forgot about the name, but it can run into synchronous mode, like, you know, it's synchronized, so you have the best performance clock speed wise. So it's best to keep it at 6000 and then keep it as low, the timings as low as possible. That's the best performance you can get for Ryzen, that is, because Ryzen scales more with latency than it does with speed. On Intel it's different, but I don't know how Intel works. I see wildly different scenarios, as in Intel boots at 7000 but it's not stable. Other people boot at 8000 and it's perfectly stable, and the same CPU, same platform basically. So that's a kind of bit a hit or a miss, I guess. I have no idea. It's just very hard to test. If it's the RAM, maybe it's the CPU, motherboard, whatever. I mean, you know, It's just I just booted up to 6000. I just loaded up the Expo 1, and that's it. Yeah. Oh no, I did also the low latency. You can in BIOS you can do the low latency thingy. I can show you guys. Restart. Let's see if I can actually go into BIOS. These things boot very, very, very fast though. I have to spam the del key. Cool. Does it go into I think it does. No, it doesn't. Oh my god. See, that's what with these boards. It's a bit. I have fast boot also enabled, but I don't think it will. Okay. I think as soon as you see this, you have to spam the del key. Maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. But sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to get into the BIOS of this thing. Maybe because of fast boot, maybe because of what the fuck, I don't know. Ah, there it is. It's on the wrong monitor. It's always weird shit. Why is it on the second monitor? This monitor is actually hooked on the internal, the iGPU of the CPU. So, yeah, fuck it. Okay, yeah, so this is all normal. Or like stock. I mean, there's no reason to do anything. So this is the memory. I just loaded up the Expo 1. There's only one setting, Expo 1. They say this was not the best, but this is the way to go, 6000. And this is the lowest timings I could find to buy, 32 gigabytes. So, yeah, I'm quite happy. Low latency support is enabled. It doesn't really do that much, but yeah, lower is lower. So yeah, I tried this one. I didn't get any higher speeds, so I don't know what this is supposed to do. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but yeah, 6000. I mean, I have no issues. Its system is more than fast, so there is no issue. This has auto. This is also a thing. Just I don't know, it just set it automatically. I'm not tinkering with it because, you know, with Ryzen you never know. Change one thing and the next you spend like a whole week into error reporting and I'm just done with that. I did that, the Asus ROG motherboard, the x670 kind of ruined it for me. So maybe in the future, when I have more patience for it, I can I do that again. These are my CPU settings. This disabled. This is an I think to believe it's the virtualization. I turn it off. I never use it. PSS support. That's a bit convoluted how they enable the generation. It's just cool and quiet. You know, on the AMD motherboards they used to call it cool and quiet. Now it's PSS support for whatever reason. Global C state control is disabled this one. Okay, global C state control, I have it enabled. I think it's default enabled. I don't know what this does. I don't change it. I have no issues. So why changing it? SMT multi-threading is automatic. Here's where the magic happens. I put it in advanced motherboard. That will, in general, it gets you more than enough performance. I mean, the motherboard. You can handle up to 2 of these CPUs, theoretically of course, the VRM wise, so there is no any issue. Mainly X10, so it keeps at a higher boost for longer periods. Boost enabled, maximum boost 200, normally it boosts to 5.55, plus 2 is 5.75. You never see this 5.75. It's a gimmicky, it's just false advertisement because the CPU never gets to that speed. Never. I did so many testings, and when you're doing nothing, then it might boost to that. Only 4 or 5 cores, so it's, I don't know why it's even there. I don't know even why I have it enabled, but yeah, it's just it's nice if you do like open up a Google Chrome tab or whatever. It just you see it. Oh, it runs at 5.75. That's the only thing. You're not gonna get any performance from 200 megahertz more, barely. But anyway, that's how I did it. Okay, GFX. I don't use the GFX. This is where the magic happens. I got this from Scatterbencher. Scatterbencher works with Elmore. John Sandstrom, he was an R&D engineer at Asus ROG. He's one of the nicest guys you can meet. He knows everything inside out. This guy is amazing. He helped us out on the Asus ROG thread on OCN, great deal. And yeah, everything went south since he left. So yeah, I cannot advise anyone to get Asus ROG. Anyway, that's another story. I'm using Aorus now, so this is where we're going to focus. I have this one. I copied this from the Scatterbencher. I haven't really tinkered with it more than this. I don't know, I just came across it because I follow him, and yeah, this is what he found out. So, and he knows way more about this stuff than me. I don't really want to know everything about this stuff because I don't know, I don't have the patience for it anymore. I like to tinker, but not too much. I mean, there's no real. If I tinker, I want performance increase. But if there is no performance increase, then for me, in my opinion, it's not worth it. I'm not going to tinker for 5% more performance, and I'm not going to tinker with it for a couple of days or a couple of hours for only 5%. You're never going to notice it. I mean, if you render a video, for an example, and you know, or playing a game 100 or 105 FPS, you're not going to notice the difference. You know, so that's my kind of take. It's personal. I mean, everybody is different. Some people just tinker for weeks or maybe months for only a few % of performance increase. I mean, that's their hobby. That's what they do. I mean, you know, I can only wish you good luck. I mean, I'm not that guy anymore. So yeah, this is the settings I use, and I like it. I mean, this is rock stable. I never had a single issue. So, is there something else? Oh yeah, here's the BIOS. Oh, that's the BIOS I'm using. F8A 7700 X8 core processor. Yeah, that's it. I mean, what? There's nothing else to know. I think. That's the only things I said I changed, and yeah, I got 5.75 sometimes, like I said. So let's. I don't know why I keep saying this when I do nothing. It's just CPU clock control. I didn't. Fuck it. Okay, let's see boosting. How the boosting works. I mean, mostly it's at 5.5 gigahertz anyway, so why overclocking it manually to 5.5? Some say you can get a lower voltage on that, but yeah. Now shows the magic, man. I don't know when it actually boosts to maybe when I open a lot of I mean, temps are fine. That's not the temps. Oh. Everything is loaded, yes. Oh, it goes a little. So there goes the temp, goes a little lower. And sometimes when you have like, I think it's below 60 or something, it boosts higher. I don't know how that. open up. Yeah, that doesn't even stress the CPU. No. But as you can see, the clocks are quite stable. As in the boosting, everything is perfectly fine. As I said, I haven't had any issues on this platform, not much. I mean, there are always some minor things, but nothing out of the extraordinary. But it does not want to boost at 5.57. It doesn't want to do it. It's fine. No. See, it's just... Your temps are more than fine, see? Why don't you boost to 5.57? 5.75? Nope. Nah, fuck it, I'm not gonna wait any longer. Well, that's it, guys. That's the little tutorial on this CPU thing, motherboard, how to flash, everything. So, yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.